To catch the fish in your fish tank, all you need is a green net. But to catch fish out here, you need specialized equipment. The Ghostbusters looking pack next to me is called a backpack electrofishing unit. This unit will put a small amount of electricity into the stream to stun the fish so we can safely capture them. Using these dip nets, we scoop the fish up and place them in a bucket, and at the end of the run, we check the fish for health and work them up. We'll show you that later. As we're shocking in the stream, be sure to watch this end of the probe. This is where the positive end of the electric field comes out, so the fish will rise up wherever I put this probe.
You'll notice that Jason and Aaron are working side by side in an upstream fashion. The purpose of this is, as fish see these fellows, they tend to get spooked up to the top of the hole and crowded, and they're able to shock them, dip them up, and put them in that white ace bucket. That also prevents a lot of cloudy water from being washed back down on top of what you're trying to do. So we always work in an upstream fashion when we're backpack electrofishing. Looks like the action is pretty fast and furious down there as they're moving up. They're collecting what looks to be trout and probably some other specimens that live in the stream as well. We use low amperage when we're electrofishing, and sometimes high voltage when the water is what we call really soft. And this stuns the fish momentarily, rolls up, and gives the fellas a moment to use their dip nets to scoop the fish up and drop them in the bucket for further analysis. Like any time you use electricity around water, it's dangerous. You have to be careful. The boots they're walking in are insulated. The yellow handles on their nets and on Jason's probe are insulated as well. And so there's no electricity being drawn up into their net handles or through their boots. What we're getting here is what we call a sample. Jason and Aaron are not getting every fish in the stream. They're not that good. When we get a sample, we like to come back to the same location at the same time of the year, use the same gear, and hopefully with the same personnel, so we put the same effort into gathering fish from the creek. This reduces what we call our variability and gives us more accurate information on which to base our management decisions. You'll notice coming from the back of Jason's Ghostbuster outfit, a single wire we call a rat tail. And that rat tail is the negative portion of the circuit, the electric circuit that we're putting into the water. As Jason mentioned, the positive circuit is at the end of his yellow pole, and when he presses the button down, a field of electricity is put out into the water. We'll examine their sample in a few moments after they're done electrofishing.
Now that we caught these fish, Jason, what exactly are we going to do with them?
Well, Aaron, it's time to get scientific. The first thing we do when we catch these fish is identify the fish. This first fish should look very familiar. It's the same fish you're raising in your tanks. This is called a brook trout, and it is a native fish to Virginia, which means it's always been here. It's the only native trout in Virginia. Notice the camouflage on the back of this fish. This wormy pattern really helps it blend into the surroundings. Also notice the red fins on the bottom of the fish. These fish get bright red during the fall and help attract mates.
Well, Jason, you were talking about different fins on the brook trout. What are they used for, and what are the different fins?
Well, Aaron, The brook trout uses these fins to help it swim. The first fin that I like to talk about is the tail fin or the caudal fin. The fish uses this fin to propel itself through the water. The top fin on the fish is the dorsal fin. The fish uses this fin to keep in a straight line to steer itself through the water. Finally, these bottom fins are called the pectoral, the pelvic, and the anal fin, and these keep the fish stable in the water column. Finally, last but not least, is the mysterious adipose fin. Brook trout, 136 millimeters, 19 grams.
So Jason, why are we using millimeters instead of inches?
Well, all scientists use the metric system to measure fish.
What do you have there, Jason?
This is called a mottled sculpin, and these fish live right alongside the brook trout in the stream. These fish live on the bottom, and they love aquatic insects. If the fish get big enough, the brook trout can actually eat these fish. There are many types of minnows that live inside of our streams. I wonder if there's any more trout in these streams.
Absolutely, Jason. There are many different types of trout in Virginia. The one I'm going to tell you about right now is the rainbow trout. Rainbow trout originated in the western United States and were brought to Virginia on train cars around the turn of the century. They were brought to Virginia because they're easy to raise and they can give anglers more opportunities. The rainbow trout is not considered native in Virginia, but it is considered wild where it reproduces in streams such as this. It's easy to see the difference between a rainbow trout and a brook trout. The rainbow trout, which I'm holding, has a silver base with darker spots. It also has a beautiful pink stripe along its side, while the brook trout has a darker base and lighter spots and very fluorescent fins.
Hey Aaron, what do these fish eat?
They like to eat all kinds of aquatic insects. It looks like they're kind of hungry now. We better put them back.
We better.
Yeah.
Ah, what is that?
Just relax. It's just fish slime. It helps the fish swim through the water quickly and fight off infection.
Fight off infection, kind of like Neosporin?
Yeah, exactly. But just remember, before you touch a fish,